Good evening, everybody. This is Josh with MO Bassin TV. I apologize that I haven't posted anything. With me moving into this new apartment and everything, still kind of getting adjusted, all the financials and, everything else with taking on new responsibilities of keeping everything clean, keeping everything straight, taking care of my dog, and all that kind of stuff. So I apologize for not posting in a while, but I wanted to get on here and talk to you guys a little bit about my most previous tournament that I fished that was at Mark Twain Lake. So pretty much what we had going on at Mark Twain Lake was the water was about 7 foot high, and then between Friday and Saturday it was falling. So everyone knows when you have falling water, you kind of have a little bit of a you have a transition there to where the bass will be aggressive, but you have to find where they move to. So Friday we went down and pre-fished, and we thought we were on something with spinnerbaits and main points, and then we did pretty well. I caught about 6 that would have kept, had probably around a 9 or 10 pound limit, and so we thought we were on something, went out, bought a few more, and then Saturday came around, Saturday came around and they shut off. That was not it anymore. They didn't want anything to do with it. We were finding better luck with bottom baits like jigs, and actually a biffle bug was the main plastic that was catching them. So my boater had a little bit of experience on Mark Twain, so he kind of knew where some of the fish lived. So we went down to some of his spots and ended up scrounging together. I weighed in 2, he weighed in 3 off of a hump. It was actually had 6 foot of water over the top. Typically it only has maybe a foot or 2 feet of water over it, but it had about 6 foot of water over it. And I was catching them on a swim bait and a jig, and he was catching them on a biffle bug. And that was right out front of Blackjack Marina. If anybody knows Mark Twain Lake, everybody knows where Blackjack Marina is. So we kind of scraped together on day 1. We had a good placement. I was sitting in 9th. I think he was sitting in about 6th. So then day 2 comes around, Sunday, and the water has fallen even more. The water by this point from Friday to Sunday had fallen probably anywhere to around a foot to 18 inches. So pretty much we went out, started working with started working kind of our morning areas, and didn't really have any luck. So we ran up to one of our areas that is now, like I said, 18 inches lower, and we were kind of starting to get worried. They started to pick up again on the bottom baits, so we kind of tried to match some of the places that we had some luck, but didn't come up with any keepers. So near the end of the day, we went back to Blackjack Marina, and as we made our way into the back of the marina, I chucked my jig up by the walkway going down to the actual marina. Put my first keeper in the boat. He already had one in the boat from a spinnerbait prior in the morning, but it was kind of like a one-time deal, it seemed like, because after that he couldn't seem to get a strike. So after that, I put one in the boat with jig, and that was my first keeper, so we both had one in the boat. As we went back around, hey, come here, now. Sorry about that, guys. Anyways, as we came back around to the other side, we started fishing around the walkway again, and my partner ended up catching one. So he brought his in. Well, then we kind of started figuring it out. We were sitting in about 15 foot of water, and the cables that were connecting, holding the dock to the actual land were where they were setting up on. That's what they were relating to. As they pushed off from those docks, they were relating to those intersection points there. And in about 20-minute span, he had 3 more in the boat. I had 2 more in the boat, and that ended up being the rest of our day. We found him about an hour and a half, or probably about an hour before weigh-in. So we fished them until they just wouldn't bite anymore, and then that was pretty much the end of the day. It took us a while to get back to the ramp just because of the conditions on the lake. We had about 15 to 20 mile an hour winds there at the end of the day. So that's just a little bit about what we did. For that, I used a 3/8 ounce green pumpkin finesse jig from Dirty Jigs Tackle. I know you guys have heard me talk about them in some of my previous videos. And then all gator sticks were used. All my gator sticks were used. I was fishing the jig on my heavy action, and then the spinnerbaits I was throwing on my medium heavy. So I was running 20-pound fluorocarbon with a 7:5-to-1 gear ratio for the jig, and then I was running a 6:4-to-1 for the spinnerbait, and then had a little bit of a line issue and came unprepared. Rookie mistake, but so I transferred to the 7.5-to-1. Didn't make too much of a difference. Still was able to slow roll it and still be able to pick up a few bites. But there's just a little recap of what we saw and what was going on at Mark Twain. We had falling water. The water was dirty the first couple days, and it started to clear up throughout. And then, like I said, on Sunday, we really got on that pattern. We found them on the intersections of those cables and or lying near those cables. And that's just kind of what we saw. Mark Twain is not a lake that you go out and crush 30 pounds at or anything like that. It's a pretty mediocre lake. It has its days, but overall I had a good tournament. I ended up finishing 6th place and coming away with a few good points. Next one we are going to is Pomme de Terre, and hopefully I'm going to shoot some video in between there because that's not till April. But next one is Pomme de Terre. I'm really looking forward to that one. That one actually fits more in my style a little bit. We have bushes, laydowns, docks, all kinds of stuff like that where I can actually go shallow and stick to my strengths and not have to move offshore and fish things that I'm really not comfortable fishing or really not knowledgeable about fishing. So hopefully I can get some good video for you guys. I'm sorry I didn't get any video at Mark Twain. It was just one of those tournaments where it all kind of happened so fast that getting video was just kind of hard to do, especially when you're getting bites every 3 or 4 casts. So thanks guys, I hope you guys enjoyed, and till next time, take it easy.